I've gotten a lot of respect for IT people they hate me, okay, because I'm a sales guy. So I just walk in the door and it's like, oh, this guy's trying to sell me something. And I totally appreciate that. I get it, because I act more like an IT guy when I'm sitting at home and a salesman comes to come sell me something than you know what I mean?
Well, he's not really thinking this guy's going to try to sell me something. He's saying, I'm not letting this guy on my network.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Exactly. And clearly he doesn't know what he's talking about, right? Because he's BSing me from the second he walks in. I think that's the big challenge is first of all, IT folks, this is new for them, right? This Zigbee and Bluetooth and all the different types of wireless networks, totally new to an IT network guy who's used to, running Ethernet through his building and managing the network infrastructure. And then you've got these systems that, quite frankly, the security on them is questionable. You don't really know. I mean, to really do a full audit, I'd need, you tell me what you'd need, Tony, to do a full audit of any given control system security. What would you need? You need the entire system, right? You need to hack into it. You need to evaluate it, go into the programming, look at how
a lot of the big, government, big Fortune 500s, they want to take your equipment and they want to vet it. They want to make sure that there's no holes in it or anything like that. So yeah, that's pretty typical. Or that was more typical before. Now things are more relaxed because the relationship between the facility managers who manage the lights and the IT people, I think they're becoming, they know that they need each other. But if you think about it, lights never had anything to do with IT.
Yeah.
Nothing. So they would sell projects and they would install things. And then all of a sudden we would raise our hand and say, hey, we got to put this on a network. And then the IT guy comes in and he's pissed off because he doesn't know what any of this stuff is that they just bought. So they have to learn to co-mingle early on before the project gets too far ahead. That's the one thing that IT folks really hate is when you're throwing stuff down their throat, and it's too late for them to even think about and give feedback on how it's going to be working.
I think that is a good, because we live and breathe this every day, and that to us now it's like second nature, but I think that is a good piece of advice for, any contractor that's out there working on a project, keep IT involved and in the loop, and make sure the stakeholders that are affected by any kind of wireless controls system, bring them to the table right from the beginning, and then talk through it, because
we gotta help those contractors too, because they're going to be on site looking for it, and it's not there.
Yeah, it's not there.
So let's talk about that, because that's a really interesting topic. Okay, there's a lot to unpack there. Mm-hmm. The IT department is, first of all, very scary to most of the other departments, right? The facilities department, scared to death, right? There is certainly the C-suite, right? CEO, CFO, those guys. When the IT guy walks, the amount of power that an IT person has in a company is almost like at the level of CEO. If the head of IT comes in and says, we're not doing that, even if the CEO says we are, guess what? You're not. You're not. He's like the top brass, right? It could be an entry-level IT guy managing their network, and that guy can override the CEO because the CEO doesn't know what he doesn't know. And he knows that if his IT guy says no go, I can't override.
Exactly.
Right?
Well, and I would say this, because think of like maybe a bank building, right? A building like a headquarters of a bank that has $1 million transactions every second, every minute that goes through that have to happen. And if the IT backbone goes down and they can't process those transactions, they lose money. So no one wants to mess that up, right? And that can work everywhere. A car dealership, a small mom and pop shop, network goes down. Yeah. You've seen when a little while ago, Target's network went down and they couldn't process transactions, right?
Yeah, the POS system, the point of sale.
How much did they lose?
Right.
So that's why there's this scariness between, IT and these other systems that are going to come on.
Yeah. Totally understandable. So here's the challenge. as a salesperson going in to talk to a customer to close that deal, right? You're talking about the lighting and advanced controls and all the wonderful things that are going to happen in IoT. And you get in there, you show the financials to see if you're not thinking bring in the IT department, okay? CFO, facilities manager, CEO, boom, everybody shakes hands, everybody's happy. Well, most people will not bring IT in at that point.
No.
I will tell you that if you bring them in at that point, it's still too late.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's one of the difficulties that this industry experiences, is that you think as a salesperson that you brought them in as early as you humanly could. I'm sure is not going to muddy this sale by bringing an IT guy in who's going to naysay me through the entire thing. I won't be able to close the deal, right?
Well, you know, I would say that the problem is because the sales guy is afraid that he can't answer the questions that the IT guy will ask.
Yes.
And he can't.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And so, like, what are some of those questions? You know, Tony. You know, what are those objections?
Well, before we get into that too, I would say one of the problems that I have learned over the years is that first, the sales guy doesn't know how to answer those questions, and it's not that simple. I mean, I think you need to bring someone else in, and then two, you never tell the IT people what you are going to do with their network. For me, it's always, look, here's what we have, and here's a recommendation, but whatever works for you, we're open to.
And if you don't, other options that we could, you have, based on your requirements, and yeah.
And when you come at it that way, and actually we always ship out for a lot of our projects the networking guide to the IT person, and 9 out of 10 times, if you get that guide to the right person early on, you don't need to have a call. You send that to them. Typically, give him a couple days, you have a call, and he will ask you the questions that he has. But typically it's all answered in that guide, and then you're good.
Yeah.
You skip all those pieces and people get mad.
So that's totally 100% right. So here's kind of my thought. You're in the sale. You've agreed. If what I like to do when I'm selling projects is map out the process of the sale to the customer, okay? So that this isn't like I'm walking in and I'm mysteriously one day I'm going to shake somebody's hand and I'm going to have a PO in my hand, right? It's not that kind of sale. I used to do that kind of sales. It was commodity sales. I'm going to sell you some metal. I'm going to sell you some plastic. All right, I'm at $16 a pound here. I'll send you the PO. That's not what this is. This is a complex, multifaceted, multi-stage sale. So if you go in and you say, and we do this, right? We have our steps to close in our proposal that we map out, that we like to go through in our initial presentation. And one of those steps, before a contract signed, before POs are cut, before any major agreements have been made, IT needs to get brought to the table and needs to approve the system and our design, right? So it isn't step one, but it's somewhere after all the financials have been agreed to and everybody's happy. We are at that point pulling IT in. So you picture you're in a boardroom with 4 people, and there's an invitation sent out to the IT group saying, we're talking to a company about coming in and doing controls. They would like to show you how the options for integrating into our building and get your blessing on a strategy, right? So it's all about, we're gonna present to you ideas, and you're going to tell us what you're happy with and what you're not happy with. It isn't, we're coming in and we're putting this on your network. And where it derails is a salesman gets so excited about closing a deal that they're right there. They know, I can close you right now. I'm just going to do it. Yeah. And they skip that process, and they're like,
"I'll worry about it later."
Yeah. It's not going to be that big of a problem. Yeah.
Well, problem is if they've already signed the deal, that becomes the new tone. So when we have the meeting and everyone sits down and says, "Hey, Bill, Mr. IT guy, this is the company that we've chosen to now sit on your network, and automatically Bill is, okay, I hate you.
Yep.
And I am not going to make this easy on you because you did not follow the proper chain of command here, and I should have been brought in multiple steps before this. So now you may be happy as a sales guy that you closed the deal, but your project is going to be delayed and it's going to be challenging, and he's going to make it very hard for you all the way through. And as he should, you're messing with his network, right? So that's my.
Yeah, no, and I'm kind of taking that a little bit further though. I think there's kind of two things at play, you know, in that dynamic. One is the protocol not being followed, right? You know, showing somebody the respect and giving them, you know, the insight into, you know, what's going on, but also the comfort level, right? And I think you were starting to allude to this, Tony, where, you know, if I'm blindsided as an IT person by this system that's going to be on my network, I'm not comfortable with that, right? You know, yeah, the whole protocol thing, that's one thing, but you need to explain to me what the heck is actually going on here with this thing, right? Because you mentioned, you know, we send out the networking guide, they read it, they come back and they're like, okay, well, what's this, you know, SSH or on this port or that port, or, you know, I just made that stuff up, I don't really know. But yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's a comfort level thing too.
Exactly. And it all goes back to the initial thing that I said, which is when the network goes down, who gets chewed out? The IT guys. And they don't want that. Like they're just nice, sitting there nice, making sure everything's running smoothly. But you know, when something goes down, I mean, those are the guys that are working all night long to get that back up. And we all know that could be a hard thing with our own networks, you know, going down. You don't realize how great it is until your network goes down.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And no one can work. And so you lose a lot of money.
You do.
And
so that's what their fears are.
The projects that I have had the most success on quickly deploying and getting the backing of the IT group were ones that I did what I had said there before, brought them in early on, got their blessing. It was basically like we were giving them the props and the respect that they deserve. Do you approve of this? And usually they feel much more respected. They're a lot more at ease, and they say, yeah, you know what? This isn't that bad. It's the craziest thing. It's like two different people, and I can call it right before it's about to happen, because it just happened to me on a project where we were brought in to we didn't sell the project, right? Our customer was the person who sold the project, and we just sold them our services, but really they were the one who was interacting with the end user. And once we got to the table and we said, hey, has anybody talked to the IT group? You know, no. Should we? Yeah. And I'm like, oh no, you guys, this is going to be really bad. I don't even know at this point how to deal with this, because they're going to walk in here. It doesn't matter what I say. Watch. I'm going to kiss his ring and I'm going to do everything it takes, and he's going to hate me. And it did. It went just like that. And we tried to give him all the respect, but he went right back to, why wasn't I brought in sooner? And like, yeah, absolutely, 100% you should have been. And that's frustrating. So that's important to remember. If you're selling this stuff, bring that IT guy in, and you know what? He'll become a huge advocate for you if you bring him in. Yeah, they'll love it. They'll want it on their network, and they'll help you in any way they can.